We're on the air all over the internet and worldwide. This is Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is Jeffrey Davis, and we are today and all week airing from O'Brien and Levine, Court Reporting Services, and it is called On the Record, this show. And I'm flanked to my left by Mark Z from Mark Z Legal Staffing.
Jeff, great to be with you. Just such stimulating subjects and the best of the best attorneys we have on the show.
Biggest legal groupie I know. It's unbelievable. And I mean it nicely. I mean, he just loves lawyers. He's a lawyer, loves lawyers.
Well, that's a first.
Someone's got to love
Somebody's
you guys.
got to love us, yeah.
And that lovable voice on the other end was Steve Bazarian from Dalton and Finegold. And I heard you have a very interesting part of your practice, in airborne illnesses.
One of the pieces of my practice is what's called foodborne illness cases. And the cases I have primarily worked on have involved E. coli infections.
Interesting.
The first time I went down this road, it was raw milk, something called raw milk, which is unpasteurized milk. And the client that I was representing at the time, they had several illnesses as a result of people drinking raw milk and getting E. coli infections. But the other problem is, if it's not pasteurized and there's a potential for an E. coli infection, then that could be passed on through the raw milk.
Right.
And the problem with E. coli is it results in, if you get a serious enough infection, it can result in kidney failure. And that's where the cases. That's where the rubber hits the road on these cases. And they usually involve a form of kidney failure. And usually the plaintiff is required to undergo certain procedures called hemodialysis and a number of other procedures to help his kidneys function. And it could conceivably lead to death. It very, very, very rarely does, but it can conceivably lead to death.
Now, do you work with your clients in terms of being proactive for solutions, or do you, in your space, do you have to be more reactive? So, for example, like with Chipotle, when they had issues with their food and what it led to, and I think they lost multi-millions of dollars.
I am not able in that space for my clients to be as proactive as I can. That the departments at the clients that I have where E. coli is an issue, are frankly way more proactive than I could ever be, and they are way ahead of the curve on it. I have been proactive in other areas for other tort work that I've done for clients. Right. I've done seminars on, like, for premises liability, how to tee up and protect yourself when you do get sued, and how to, what it's like to go through a lawsuit and what you can do to help me and that sort of thing. But in the foodborne illness sphere, I, as a non-scientist, I don't have that ability, that proactive capability. And frankly, my clients are very, very good. If you look back historically, before the pasteurization process became the norm,
in this country,
the death rate, particularly the youth death rate, was quite high as a result of drinking unpasteurized milk. So the pasteurization process decreased that markedly. And so the health benefits, most states don't, like I said, most states don't allow the sale of raw milk. Connecticut, where these incidents occurred, does allow the sale of raw milk. But those states have made that conscious decision. They've made a decision that it's because the process is never going to be perfect. The dairy process, as near as I can tell, is never going to be perfect. It's like any sort of tort defense idea, which is you can't protect everybody from everything all the time. And so the dairy process, and you maybe know more than me working on a dairy farm, but I think there's a lot you can do to prevent the spread of E. coli in the raw milk scenario, but you can't do everything.